What is dehumanization? Nick Halsom, professor of psychology, describes dehumanization as the denial of full humanness to others and argues that it is used as an excuse to treat another as less than a human being. In violent colonial practices, it becomes a way to explain a conflict, justify aggression, and provide the oppressor with a sense of superiority.
Jean-Paul Sartre, in the preface of Wretched of the Earth, writes, "Violence in the colonies does not only have for its aim the keeping of these enslaved men at arm's length, it seeks to dehumanize them. If the colonized shows fight, the soldiers fire and he is a dead man. If he gives in, he degrades himself and he is no longer a man at all. Shame and fear will split up his character and make his inmost self fall to pieces."
Released in 2013, Black Mirror's White Bear is about a woman named Victoria who wakes up and cannot remember anything about her life. Everyone she encounters refuses to communicate with her, and they all seem to know something she doesn't. In the end, it's revealed that she is a criminal forced to live the same day over and over while being tortured for the entertainment of others as part of punishment for the crime she committed. White Bear illustrates 3 strategies commonly used in the process of dehumanization: the use of dehumanizing language, the use of physical and psychological violence, and the complicit spectator.
Dehumanization can often be located in the language that is used to describe the individual or group sought to be dehumanized. Describing the other as an animal or childlike is often a core part of the process of dehumanization.
Okay, rule number 2, keep your distance. I can't stress the importance of this one enough, okay? Don't forget, she's a dangerous individual. Imagine that she's an escaped lion.
Dehumanizing language can be used to instate a feeling of degradation and humiliation and disgust and revulsion towards the dehumanized other.
Oh, don't start crying. Crocodile tears are making me sick. Get her out of here. Throw her back to where she came from. What I need from you is to shout and scream and let that bitch know that yous are right here.
Albert Memmi writes, "One does not have a serious obligation toward an animal or an object. It is then easily understood that the colonizer can indulge in such shocking attitudes and opinions." We see here how language can be used as a vehicle for the process of dehumanization by taking an individual's humanness away and becoming an excuse for unquestioned violence and unethical practices.
Aimé Césaire argues that in the process of dehumanizing the other, the colonizer transforms himself into an animal. Indeed, he writes, "First, we must study how colonization works to decivilize the colonizer, to brutalize him in the true sense of the word, to degrade him, to awaken him to buried instincts, to covetousness, violence, race hatred, and moral relativism. Thus, through the process of dehumanization of the other and the consequent decivilization of the oppressor, violence becomes an inevitable tool for the assertion of superiority."
Oh, mama.
Help me! Why are you doing anything? You guys stop this thing! Tell me I'm a human being!
They're not going to help you. They're going to watch. What I'm going to do here, darling, is just going to push this straight to you.
Here we see how dehumanization is carried out not only by language, but also through inexplicable and unregulated violence. Just like the colonized is not free to choose between being colonized or not being colonized, Victoria also has no freedom of choice as she is subjected to extreme physical and psychological violence.
Oh my God! What's wrong with those people? Why are they helping us? They're just...
Irving Stope suggests that a passive stance from the bystanders contributes to the oppression of innocent victims. In White Bear, we also see how the public becomes complicit in the process of dehumanization through the lack of intervention and the passive acceptance of the dehumanization process that becomes a sort of spectacle.
Don't go out there! What's your problem? Huh? You want something to look at? Because I'll give you something to look at!
We have to get out
No,
of
I
here.
want to talk to them! I want to talk to you!
Cal Jaspers writes, each shares responsibility for every injustice and every wrong committed in the world, and especially for crimes that are committed in his presence or of which he cannot be ignorant. If I do not do whatever I can to prevent them, I am an accomplice in them.
In White Bear, the spectators are ideologically conditioned to accept the dehumanization of Victoria, which transformed the torture into their own entertainment.
By the end of White Bear, we see in Victoria the effects of dehumanization. Through her body language, we see how she surrenders and resigns to her fate.
Albert Memmi writes, what is left of the colonizer at the end of this stubborn effort to dehumanize him? He is hardly a human being. He tends rapidly toward becoming an object. As an end in the colonizer's supreme ambition, he should exist only as a function of the needs of the colonizer. Willfully created and spread by the colonizer, this mythical and degrading portrait ends up being accepted and lived with to a certain extent by the colonized.
Kill me. Please just kill me.